If you told me 10 years ago that this is what I was going to be doing for the rest of my life, I would have thought you were talking about somebody else. I was always doing what other people told me I was supposed to be doing. And then I met Chance. Fast forward a few years, and that's when we decided to find a new city where we can make a difference. We fell in love with Chicago. I guess when you've been hurt so many times, at some point you turn that into wanting to help others. Because everybody deserves another chance. And that's how Another Chance Training was born.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and this is my wife Allison and our dog Eliza, who we adopted from a shelter in Chicago in January of 2020. Eliza's originally from Alabama, so when she came to Chicago in January, there was certainly some culture shock from the cold temperatures and busy city streets.
Yeah, Eliza's the sweetest dog. We love her, and the three of us bonded really quickly. But soon after we got her, we realized that she had some serious separation anxiety issues and just a general fear of the unknown, which really worried us. She was terrified of going outside, especially in the big city, hearing lots of noises, the L train. It really just upset her so much so that she would tremble and whimper, and it really just broke our hearts, so we knew we needed to get some extra help for her.
Enter Sheer and Another Chance Training for that help. Sheer immediately from day one helped us put a plan in place to make Eliza a bigger and better part of our family. She built our confidence as new dog owners. She built Eliza's confidence as an otherwise scared dog from a completely different state and different environment. And more recently, we've been working with Sheer and her team with some field training where they come and take Eliza for an hour at a time away from our home without us, and they work with her in new environments and around new people, and building her skills and building her confidence and making her ultimately a happier dog.
Yeah, and Eliza's become so much more confident since starting this field training. It's unbelievable, really. When we first got her, she could hardly walk outside of our condo. Now she'll walk for several miles with us, and she's still working on getting that confidence in new scary places, busy streets near the L, and she's just making so much progress, and we really have Sheer and her team to thank for that.
So right here, have her stop and sit, and then click. Good, give her a treat. Even with the train, okay? Have the treat in your hand and have her follow. High value because a lot of distraction. Good job. Now have her stop and sit. Look at her.
So honestly, they've been such a life changer for us and for Eliza. Not only have they helped her develop so much confidence and happiness, but they also really treat her like part of their family.
Hi everybody, this is Miguel and Mikey. I just wanted to record this video to talk a little bit about Mikey and his progress over the past months with Sheer and Another Chance Training. He went from being a very reactive dog to, as you can see, a very lovable dog. And it's all thanks to Sheer and her training that I was able to find a dog walker, get Mikey walked on a regular basis, and just improve his overall social interaction with other dogs. So have a lot of goodwill towards Sheer, and I continue to see a lot of progress with Mikey, and I just want to say thank you.
Hi there everybody, my name is Chris and this is Teddy. Teddy is a toy poodle and he is a puppy, and we brought him into our home a few months ago, and we have another dog, Albert, who is 5 years old, and there was quite a bit of an adjustment period as we were bringing this guy into the home. I think after a few weeks we were kind of at our wits' end in terms of the barking and pottying in wrong locations and a lot of antics and antagonizing between the boys. Wasn't quite fighting, but it was certainly stuff that we didn't want on a regular basis in our house. So we hired Sheer about a month ago and started doing sessions in home, and I think from day one we could tell that she was really up to the task, and we were really so just impressed and happy with all of the recommendations that she made, and the things that she taught us about. I couldn't imagine being in this situation right now without having the training knowledge that we have and without having made the changes that we've been able to make and having these guys' behavior be so improved.
Hi, my name is Maggie and this is Spicy. We started working with Sheer 6 months ago today, and that was exactly 4 days after I adopted him. Being a first-time dog mom, needless to say, I was in way over my head. He wasn't potty trained, he didn't know how to sit, and to top it all off, he was incredibly reactive. And he wasn't reactive because he's a Chihuahua, he wasn't reactive because he's mean, he was reactive because he was terrified. He was terrified of people, he was terrified of dogs, he was terrified over the creepy tarp that would make noises in the construction site, he was terrified of everything. Which meant if we passed a person on a walk, he would lunge, he would attempt to bite, he would bark. It made for a very stressful experience. Now, that's a person. If we saw a dog 2 blocks away, all of that would happen and it would take 4 minutes to calm down. Thanks to Sheer's patience, we've overcome a lot of those things in a very quick period of time. So I can say just the other day, I was walking him in the neighborhood and I purposefully crossed the street and walked him straight down the center of an incredibly busy beer garden. And he didn't react to a single person that we passed, which was huge. And we've done a lot of positive pairing, but we're now to a point where the 3rd time that he meets a dog, he can be open to meeting them, which is very exciting. We've been to parks together. Sheer's taken him to Home Depot. And next up, we're gonna try and take him to brunch. So we've come a long way, we have a long way to go, but I'm looking forward to what the next 6 months hold, aren't you?
When we first adopted Shanley, we were very excited, but we also knew that there was a lot of work ahead since she was a dog from rural Alabama and she was moving to the big city of Chicago.
She was high anxiety, she was fearful of noises outside, public transit, cars, planes, all things by where we live in the city. We struggled for a while just to get her outside, to go to the bathroom. Walks were absolutely off limits, and we spent a lot of nights frustrated, wondering whether things would ever get better.
We tried many things, but it all changed when we met Cher, and after 3 sessions with her, she only had the confidence to go outside and walk in our neighborhood. And the great thing about Cher is that she adapted everything that we learned based on the goals that we had for her.
Flash forward another few weeks and Shenley's a completely different dog. She's confident, she's thriving on walks, and we're so happy we got to give her a second chance, and we can't wait to work more with Cher and her team in the future.
I am Justin, and this is my dog Monroe. She's about 2.5 years old, and we were helped immensely by Sheer and Another Chance training. Monroe had very severe separation anxiety and hated being left alone and would destroy things and hurt herself and just all kinds of awful things, and it was just not a fun experience for me and especially for her being left alone. Since we've started with Sheer and Another Chance, we have come such a long way, and Monroe no longer destroys things and is able to be home alone by herself for periods of time and be perfectly fine. Lots of whining when we get home because she's super excited to see us, but she is super well behaved and is able to be home alone and is just such a great improvement, and I cannot say how much we appreciate all the work that we've had with her.
Hi, I'm Amelia, and this is our 2-year-old golden doodle, Theo. We got Theo when he was a puppy. He was about 8 weeks old, and with my husband and I both working full-time, we obviously needed some help with training, and so over the course of the first year, had engaged with probably 3 different trainers. We even sent him away for a 2-week obedience class. He was never a bad dog, but we just kind of struggled with getting him to seamlessly assimilate into our lifestyle. We were lucky enough to find Sheer through another client of hers, and from the get-go, so huge differences in what we were able to get Theo to do. And I think the The biggest positive is that everything Sheer does is super customized. So we never felt like this was just a generic training method. It always felt like it was really appropriate for what we needed and what Theo needed. So we've now been working with Sheer for almost 6 months, and we've even had friends say that he's a completely different dog. He's so well behaved, and not just well behaved, but he's so much happier.
Hey, I'm Lisa, and this is Oliver. Oliver is my mini rescue poodle. I adopted him this year from a Chicago rescue that I volunteer at. Oliver has already been given up by 2 homes. I knew I needed help to get him to where he could shine, where he could be the dog that I know that he can be. And initially, the first couple months I had him, he bit me a couple times, and it was all fear-based. It was all had to do with touching his face and touching his anywhere near him. He would, if there was a hand, he was gonna snap. So our first session with Sheer, it gave me hope because she right away knew that he could overcome all of these things. Last week we had a huge milestone. We were able to take this collar off and keep it off for a few minutes and put it back on. To the point where now I've ordered a brand new collar and leash and tag that I'm super excited to have him wear next week. I wanted to work with him and help him be the best version of himself that he possibly can be. And I mean, look at him now. If you saw him 6 months ago, you would not say this is the same dog.
I just met so many amazing people during these last 8 months since we launched. And one thing I learned from the dogs that I met on this journey is that you really can choose your family.
We're so grateful for that, so grateful for them, and we feel so lucky to have found them. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We could not recommend them more. Thank you.
Could not recommend Sheer highly enough. And if you are, there at home wondering if you should hire a trainer to help out with behaviors with your pet, certainly be sure to reach out to her.
We love Sheer, and we love Another Chance. Thank you.
And our whole lifestyle has been completely changed for the better. So we really, can't recommend her and Another Chance